end. It's never the end. It's never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What was that?
No matter
number
how
of that
hard Stanley
motherfucker
looked,
that said was
he
a
couldn't
dickhead?
find a trace of his
4:30.
co-workers. Oh, please. Are
Yeah,
you really just doing
like
this for the
that.
achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I might have already done this.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
What if you just walk away and say fuck it?
I'm fucking mad. You telling me the 50, I'll fucking get 50.
That's way
this
more
way.
than
I'm
50.
still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Yeah.
What about 420?
Gangster, you know what? Right, let's carry on. What number did he say?
To be honest, I don't remember.
No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Yeah,
just to
back to
admire
the
it.
employee lounge, dog.
Wow.
Can we get a soda?
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Oh,
Oh, you're on it.
Yes, really.
Yo, crouch on that couch.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Damn
Really
right.
worth it.
we on this couch.
We
We're gonna have a lie down for a bit.
bowling.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy
What
and
you
reflected
mean?
poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yo, we're cooling, bro. We get paid by the hour. Again, by the hour. We're
Stanley
cooling.
sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time
No, we
passed
sat
and there
around
was no more,
cooling,
he
and your
decided
ass
that
kept
the game was
talking.
trying to send him a message.
We was over here minding our own business, chilling in the break room, getting paid for our hour, while everyone was off on fucking fire drill or wherever the fuck. But all them motherfuckers were gone, and like, we still here, so what's going
But
on?
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing
We getting paid
room.
by the hour.
Took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
What's business? I'm in the business of giving you the business.
We could go up there.
Oh, we're gonna go up there and give him the business? Where's the narrator? Can we give the narrator the business? Where is he? What hood he from?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
He's gonna kill
Look,
us
Stanley,
again.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Whoa.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What if we just fell all the way down?
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
death?
Now, I'm not asking for me, but in his eagerness
Oh.
to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
The end. It's never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end.
Yo, you see that clock?
Is that legit? That's fucking legit, dog. Well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I
I'm gonna
can't just
one-tap
give
this
these
man.
merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Whoa.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Shame I can't get up on them shelves.
Yeah.
I'd be bitching. Oh. Whoa.
Oh. Look at us doing hood rat shit with our friends.
Whoa.
Oh, we're back. Oh, what now?
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
That's right, dog. We did that to you. We found out where he lives.
We found that bastard.
We actually found him. Can we break him? Well, he's off now.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
You are, you
What a
bastard.
silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording.
Time to wake
It was
up.
all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time
You
you
don't
watch
wanna
a
come
movie
down
where
here
it
and
turns
see
out
us?
all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
What's
It
under
must
his
be so
desk?
simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Keys rattled.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to
Boo-boo
me. This is
keys.
all your fault.
Oh, he's mad again.
Cunt.
How gay you made him mad that time.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check
You
on his
found that
co-workers.
path.
He never functioned well by himself
I made him
and
angry.
constantly needed support and guidance from
Now
others.
he
So the
angry.
thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
What is a solitude? A solitism. How we get there, though?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his bosses. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, look, I pissed him off the first 2. I told you to do a bunch of dumb shit. But then, the last 2 have been you. This guy's just mad. I mean, if we found him last time, the Archangels would have taken him.
Stanley walked upstairs
It's time to
to
go
his boss's
downstairs
office.
now. Fuck that shit. Oh, a car
But
park.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work
How
hours.
the fuck did he get in
might
here?
be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously
Yeah,
out
we're
of
smoking
existence
the
in a
worst
single
bubbles
moment
over
for
here,
no
dog.
reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
It's all a dream.
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
I'm
His
gonna pop some
co-workers
popcorn.
weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to
Well,
lose his job.
is
He wasn't crazy after all.
stupid.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Ah.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd...
Oh, you're still
this
going.
voice spoke to all people in their dreams.
Holy
The truth was that, of
fuck.
course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that
What
if
if you
he's
go
asleep,
backward?
he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now
I hear the
as he's
door
ever
closing.
been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Button.
I want my apartment, and
Give
my
me
wife,
button.
and my job. All I want is
Want
my
easy
life
job
exactly
back.
the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Potato
I
wallet.
am okay.
Young foolish, I'm still in the IT room.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. Well,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any
What?
other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She ran? We're learning a lot about Stanley today.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Why is it so loud? You hear that? You hear that shit?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Raining outside.
Oh, dude, I think we might have to cook up the narrator again.
Oh, go back to that place. Give him the sauce.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
He was... No, go straight.
He's out here, isn't he? I remember.
Stanley was
Yeah,
so bad at
he's on
following
that box.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5
Yeah.
years ago.
The hardcore parkour.
There's a door behind me. Look.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises.
Shut up.